here with Years of Years, and it's This Week in Disney for January 17th to January 23rd.
Whoa! Eating up almost all the month.
It feels that way.
But of course, you're watching this in the middle, so.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Well, whenever part of the week you watch it.
And in the middle of an amazing month. I mean, to talk about This Week in Disney, you cannot talk about this week, this very moment in Disney, without talking about Festival of the Arts and Figment.
Yay!
Figment Immortal. Holy cow. They were lined up all the way around the World Showcase for this little guy. But thankfully, due to fun and fancy-free Floridians,
yes,
and VWDW Challenge 2020, who knew that they were in line, we were able to message them, and they were able to retrieve. I told them I was this close to sleeping with this. I mean, this is awesome. You know, I mean, Figment, big part of my first journey to Epcot as a child. But that's not what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Yeah, today is a special day for
Somebody's
sure.
birthday.
Yes, somebody's birthday.
A big one.
It's a little bit bittersweet though. So
Indeed.
we're gonna, just take it all in. But back in 1922, actress, comedian, author, one-time game show host, Betty White is born in Oak Park, Illinois.
Oak Park, Illinois! Illini.
Right, but she grew up in Los Angeles, so yeah. Like all the way. She went to Beverly Hills High School.
Thank you, Illinois nurses.
Yeah. For sure, for bringing such an amazing woman into the world. She was incredible. I can't even chip away at her career. It's so phenomenal.
But you were going to try and do it. I mean, and we're going to share personal antidotes.
Well, sure. And I just, I want to try and share the things that I think really had her stand apart. And you may, so many people love her, and you may sometimes wonder, more about her. And actually, there's supposed to be a movie coming out today about her.
Like
Betty White.
in theater event.
Yeah, Betty White, a celebration. It was supposed to be celebrating her 100th birthday, which would have been obviously today. But as we know, she did pass away.
And her grandmother did exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Just shy
of 100.
Her Centennial.
Yes, Betty White passed away on December 31st. And my grandmother passed away a few days before she turned 99 or 100. Yeah, so we're familiar with that feeling. But we're so grateful though that we had Betty White till 99. That's amazing. Yeah. But I know.
Yeah, I'll share some of mine. But totally get into her career.
Her career's amazing because she actually started out, when she went to high school, they went to Sierra Nevada a lot when they were in high school on their family trips and stuff. She wanted to be a park ranger. But back then, women were not park rangers. Really? But she really loved that. Yeah. No, not back then. And so she instead found that she really liked writing. Okay. Scripts and things like that. So she went into that, graduated from high school, but she pretty much got into acting and radio right away. So she was on the radio syndicates.
Perhaps she was even very skilled at improv from her writing, and they were like, wow, she can handle off the cuff.
Yeah. Wow. Well, in 1941, she helped out with a war. She was the American Women's Voluntary Services and drove a PX truck. Of course, she's a cool lady. Okay. She has so many cool stories. But it was a strange. She said it was a strange time, but. Then when she came back from the war, it was said she wasn't photogenic, which she's photogenic, but whatever. Okay. So she went into radio first, and like I had mentioned, so she appeared on Blondie, The Great Glider Sleeve, and This Is Your FBI, but then she ended up having her own The Betty White Show. So it was the first time that she had her the Betty White show.
All right. And that was before Mary
television.
Tyler Moore.
No, way before. This is
like
just
radio.
She's not even into television yet. So, I mean, right away,
her own radio show.
Yeah, she was really popular. In fact, she didn't just like, you know, she wasn't just on TV. She actually, when she was in her 20s, produced a show which was called Life with Elizabeth. From 1953 to 1955.
Wow.
She produced it with another person. She was still living with her parents at the time, and a female producer, and she had a female director.
Get out of town.
Yeah, so this is why people look to her as such an icon, and she gets like, she's the honorary mayor of Hollywood and things like that, because she's incredible.
There.
Yeah,
she even built it. I mean, she was building radio.
Well, she was forward.
Unbelievable.
Like, she was doing stuff for women, like, way before it was acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, too, with her involvement with Mary Tyler Moore, such a forward thinking.
Right. Well, before that, she actually had the Betty White show, a TV show.
Okay, so the radio to TV kind of,
Well, after Life with Elizabeth, she ended up having the Betty White show. This was controversial because she had as a main star on the show Arthur Duncan, and he was an African American tap dancer, and there were, you know, certain states that didn't want to broadcast
How wonderful. Her birthday today on MLK Day that we're discussing.
Yeah, and they were like, you know, what are we going to do or whatever, trying to deal with the situation. And she was just like, it's tough. They're going to have to deal with it. So she kept producing the show, and he wasn't even aware of the controversy. Like, they didn't...
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, until later. So, anyway...
Didn't share the shame or anything, or teach shame. They took care of it.
Not only was she forward-thinking and helping women, she was also forward-thinking and helping, you know, people understand and not, like, be judging race and all of that as well. So, she's incredible. This is why people love her. I mean... I can't even go into all the I'm sure there's so much more.
What a golden girl.
Yeah. It's like, let's get to gold. I mean, Mary Tyler Moore comes much later. Like, you know, because if you think about her career, it started like way back in the 30s, you know, 1939. Mary Tyler Moore doesn't happen until 1960. So
for those who are here for Disney, hit us with the Disney angle.
You want to talk about the Disney
let's do the
stuff?
Disney stuff.
Okay, fine. So, in 1999, she voiced Hestia in Disney's animated Hercules. And then in 2009, she was in the Touchstone, so that's Disney, picture, The Proposal.
Okay.
That was actually really, like, re-injected her. Was The Proposal, her role in that and stuff. And then in 2010, she was the voice Mrs. Claus for the short Prep and Landing Stocking Stuffer Operation The Secret Santa.
Here we go, our Hollywood Studios Christmas bonus.
Yeah. And then Betty White and all the other ladies from the Golden Girls, that's how they became...
What that is, in the Disney family.
That's how they became Disney legends, actually, in 2009.
How awesome.
So Beatrice Arthur, Rue McCallum, and Estelle Getty.
And really for me...
B. Arthur.
Yeah, that's totally where it's at. I mean, the Mary Tyler Moore Show, of course, aware of it, but Golden Girls for me, I had a paper route as a young man, or as a youth, and Saturdays, I mean, that was Sunday, like, rolling day, and that was when Golden Girls was on. I mean, and I watched it every week. I loved it. And, you know,
I did too. I watched Golden Girls growing up as well, and as an adult.
Indeed.
We watched it with our kids and stuff. It's just like a fun show to watch.
I think as well too, like with my grandfather passing and knowing that my grandmother was single, it really helped me, like, kind of like understand my grandmother a little bit and be like, those are the kind of things that she deals with, and those are for real. Like, I saw it that way. I really enjoyed it. It helped me feel closer to my grandmother. So I love it.
That's good. One more. She was Bitey White, Toy Tiger in the 2019 Toy Story 4.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
So that was cool too. And they had other famous older generation in that the same area.
Yes,
yeah, for Toy Story 4. Yeah. Gotcha. So anyway, yes, you talked about Mary Tyler Moore. So, well, before that, she was actually named, she did all these game shows. She was on game shows like all the time. And she was named the first lady of game shows. Also,
the mayor of Hollywood.
The first lady of game.
Your first lady of game shows.
In fact, Guinness Book of World Records gave her the longest working woman in television as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's got a lot of accolades for sure. So she did all sorts of game shows, and then she did the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and that's where she played Sue Ann Nevins.
Mm-hmm.
Nevins.
Yes. Yes.
So,
a private but vivacious woman involved in the city life, for sure.
All right. We haven't watched a ton of Mary Tyler Moore.
Well, Nick at Night when I was a kid.
Yeah. I don't know why. The show, it's not like, I watched the Dick Van Dyke Show, I watched Golden Girls, I watched all the things around different things, but just not that show as much.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, but okay, this is so cool.
I mean,
so,
but the logo and the opening credits for Mary Tyler Moore, I mean, just the just
well, Mary Tyler Moore and Betty White were actually really good friends.
Very nice.
So it worked well that they got to do the show together. They actually put forward Betty White's name to be in this role, you know, for main character, and they were worried they were worried to have her because they were friends. But if it didn't work out, but it did work out, so it was all good. Yeah, so, but then, of course, the Golden Girls came after that, which was just iconic, and so many people are introduced
and as Floridians, I mean, it's like, it's still down here. Like, when you do, like, B&Bs, Airbnbs, rentals, stays, like, you can feel like you're crossing right into Golden Girls.
For sure. You feel that way
Sometimes.
when you're staying at some of the places, like very similar kind of like the wicker furniture and floral patterns and the lighting and stuff. So it's very Florida. Absolutely. Obviously they're in Florida. But great show. Her and B. Arthur didn't actually get along though.
Okay.
Well, mostly B. Arthur, I guess, didn't like how positive Betty White was. Sometimes that happens when someone's really positive. There's one person that's just like, it grates on them, and they had a lot of respect for each other despite that, and they treat each other.
Seems like it was casted perfectly.
Yeah. For sure. So, but this is really cool, actually. There was this big, like later on, I think this was 2011, there was a huge Facebook campaign to have Betty White host Saturday Night Live. They had like 500,000 people petitioning NBC, like get her on to host Saturday Night, and it was really cool. This is super iconic, and you remember it.
Yeah. I just can't think of. There was somebody that was behind it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the Facebook people, all they love her.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, that just shows like there's just like all these people who respect and love her all over the world, you know? And so it's for so many multiple reasons. She's just like that really, really approachable grandma type person. But even when she was younger, she was very...
Like a power... Yeah. She almost like a power Pollyanna.
Yeah.
A power Pollyanna.
Yeah, I think so.
So glad.
Yeah, I think she's smart, and I think she knew how to work the industry and the business. She didn't end up having children. She was married 3 times, and the 3rd time was her love of her life. And she was actually quoted, I think it was on Jay Leno, I think that she was talking about going to heaven, or when she dies, like what, you know, God would say or whatever to her, and he would say, here's Alan, he's been waiting for you. She missed him so much. But yeah, that was the love of her life, and even from like looking at pictures, you can see how happy they were. They had like a wonderful home together that they built together. Alan London, I believe is his name, and you know, he he had passed away in the 80s. So she had been without him for, that's a long time.
It's
right?
Like 30 plus years, almost 40 years.
Yeah, so
There you go.
I think that would be really hard to be without the
He's been
love of your
waiting.
life. So she must be really happy right now to be together with him. But, that they had animals because she loves animals so much. So animals have been a big part. And that was if you look into her causes and she did animal welfare, and then of course opposing racial injustice, which she had to deal with early on in her career.
Radio and TV.
Helping people and standing up for people. So she just, she stood up for those who couldn't stand up for themselves and did, used her voice that way. But incredible. We love her. And
happy birthday.
It's her birthday. Please,
Centennial.
If you can, go check out her
and I've even noticed, on the newsstands is still the People magazine, 100th birthday.
Yeah.
You can commemorate that, and
Well, and like I said about my grandmother, technically she was 100 if you count the time
in the womb.
There you go. She was already 100, so that's awesome. But happy birthday, Betty, and we're grateful for her and all she stood for. Absolutely, great example of how to be.
Thank you.
Yeah. So moving on to the rest of this week.
Indeed.
Yes, January.
It's more than Figment bucket.
Absolutely, definitely. So moving on to January, we're still in January 17th. So 1932, the very first color Mickey Mouse Sunday comic strip is to be written and drawn by Floyd Gottfredson.
Yeah, there's a halftone pattern here.
Right.
And at the Festival of the Arts right now, the first panel or last panel, depending on which way on the wall of the installation, there by the monorail track, they have a panel of comic strip, and the first one kind of a little bit like Liechtenstein inspired, but Steamboat Willie. Yeah. But comic strip Mickey, part of the fest.
And I feel all comics are art for sure. It's an art style for sure. And so anyway, Floyd was first hired as an apprentice animator, and in-betweener in December of 1929. He started working on the 4-month-old Mickey Mouse comic strip in April 1930.
There you go.
Yeah.
Easier to remember.
But the first color one is incredible. Yeah.
Incredible.
So, moving on to January 18th, 1997, at Disneyland, not 87, I said 97, right? Okay. At Disneyland Paris, the Carnival Castle is officially unveiled to mark the park's 5th anniversary. So this is based off of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That was the current Disney animated feature film, and it was the 5th. It was just all tying together for Disneyland Paris. And then to have this Carnival Castle, you can go check out pictures online. They had masks and things like carnival masks.
Maybe there'll be a picture right here.
There you go. That'll help you along. And so, I think it was interesting. I wanted to bring this up because how they did the birthday castle, or how they're doing the 50th castle.
I don't know why everyone doesn't love it. Let's have it full time.
I don't think the 50th castle is going to stay this way.
Oh, no.
It's part of the celebration, so don't you think it's going to go back or change to something?
Weird.
Well,
maybe they'll just take some of
stuff.
the lilac purple sheen out of it, go back to a gray.
Yeah.
But more gray sheen? I don't know.
We will see.
I love the enamel on the turrets. I'd hate to see that sheen go away. We'll see.
I don't know. All I know is that in the past, they do these things for a celebration and then they take it away. And
it's fine. I can handle it.
The 50th could go away.
Enjoy it.
Obviously, the big 50th thing is going to go away at some point.
You have till Christmas.
We just had Christmas all put away. So that's not there.
Which is nice. Your line of sight
is so improved.
improved.
Yeah, but unless you like the line of sight being the Christmas tree, which is so amazing.
Yes.
But no, it's good to have Roy and Minnie back sitting right there where they should be.
And great view of the parades, or the cavalcades.
Oh yeah, there's just more views of everything when you have less of the Christmas stuff. But moving on to January 19th, 1933. This was really neat that they did back then. You're not going to be able to find a lot of pictures or stuff of this online, but the Midwinter Snow Carnival, dedicated to Mickey Mouse, continues at Lake Arrowhead, California. Now, Walt Disney himself attended on this particular day and awards a Mickey Mouse doll to a young Mildred Chanter, winner of the Mickey Mouse Snowman Building Contest.
Hey!
So years later, they're gonna film the Parent Trap at Lake Arrowhead. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Let's get together. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Walt and them, they love these like the parks and the natural beauty, all the beautiful like things around. So yeah, it's cool. But
beauty's cool.
1949, the Disney film So Dear to My Heart, starring Bobby Driscoll, Luana Patten, and Burl Ives, is released.
Yes.
So this is just like a really sweet film about, Bobby Driscoll plays a little boy, and he gets this black lamb that's super mischievous and causing all kinds of drama and stuff. It's a good like Sunday afternoon sleepy film to watch. It's not on Disney Plus right now though, which I don't understand because it's like one of Walt's, he says it's his dearest, most special film because it's how him and his brother Roy grew up, and
Yeah, it's a story of like kind of like not a troubled boy, but a troublesome boy, as boys can be, like teaching a lamb to be less troublesome himself.
Yeah.
It has Burl Ives.
Yeah. But what's cool is this is filmed at the Sequoia National Park.
Oh.
Yeah, so another beautiful landscape, lots of pretty things to see in it. And then also the train station used on the set is later going to be given to Ward Kimball because he's obviously a train enthusiast, if you didn't know, and he's going to have this on his property.
There you go.
So
that's the one.
Yeah.
What's the song in
it? Lavender Blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my mom sang it to me.
Yeah, beautiful. You can look up Lavender
Blue. Lily. I remember it. Yeah, it was a good one.
Can't be this week in Disney without Brad singing.
I've already sung once though.
Yeah, there you go.
I broke my quota.
That's okay. No, you do sing more than once sometimes. Okay. You're good. All right. And then moving on to January 21st, 1933. This is a really fun cartoon. Well, it's more, I guess, adult cartoon, but at least back then, for sure, 1933. It's called The Mad Doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, directed by David Hand. And this is
like a
Mickey.
Dr.
Okay, so
Frankenstein.
the beginning of it, like Pluto is literally kidnapped. So you're like drawn in right away, like what is going on by this, he's kidnapped by this big black figure. It turns out to be a mad scientist who literally wants to replace his head or whatever with a chicken and mix them up. And so this was supposed to be a spoof on the horror films made by Universal. Yeah. Mickey.
We love you.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I won't. Go watch it because it's interesting. It's not too scary. You can handle it. But it was considered too frightening at the time by British censors. So they were like, no.
That makes sense to me. Like, I mean, I remember reading stories of the censors with just like Doctor Who and Pepper Pot Daleks and how intense they were at the time.
Daleks are really dangerous.
Yeah.
Once they made them fly.
Well, yes.
No, I can understand.
No, but I'm just saying that and I think it's because so much of the television, what was government like sanctioned with like BBC and stuff. So.
Yeah, but go check it out. It's an interesting cartoon for sure, and you'll want to watch for the ending. Then going on to January 22nd, 2001, the Disney company launches The Book of Pooh.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I think this is the live action one with like the,
it's using
a Disney
mix
Channel
of,
Direct.
ancient Japanese puppeteering techniques as well as state-of-the-art computer technology. Pooh and friends come to life as never before.
Yeah, I definitely, like, just based on my, like, age what year was it?
2001.
2001?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so then it was the kids, so I celebrated it with them. Okay, so there's been so many live action, like, Pooh's Corner and stuff like that. So this is the Book of Pooh. I love that one.
Yeah,
that's nice.
It was a really gentle, quiet kind of thing. Yeah.
That was so nice.
Yeah. It's a good one. I think we've come a little further with the animation state.
This one's special. The
computer technology, though, is a little. I think it's okay. I think it's gotten.
There's
better,
probably a lot of crossover with this one and like Bear in the Big Blue House, like people who worked on it and stuff like that.
Probably. Yeah. And then in 2018, you guys will remember this. Minnie Mouse received her star, and so we were talking all about.
And, like, people came out for it. Like other celebs, like, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was big.
Katy Perry was there, and you couldn't get over there. I mean, it was just, it's just like a sidewalk, so there's not a lot of room and a street in the way. But yeah, it was pretty big. But just thinking of Betty White and what she did for women, and it's like there's a 40-year gap between Mickey Mouse getting a star and Minnie Mouse getting her star. So, I don't know. I would have thought they would have got them together, but maybe not. Maybe not.
I wish this shirt said Minnie.
Yeah, we can get you one.
Maybe in 40 years, since I got it last year.
Yeah.
We need a Minnie shirt.
Yeah, so it's the 2,627th star. That's a lot of stars.
Yeah.
That's a long sidewalk there they got going on in Hollywood with all those stars.
Come a long way, baby.
Yep.
Never is that star to be moved.
No. So, and then it's in the category of motion pictures.
Okay.
All right, then in 2021, that was last year, the Radio Disney app and website shut down.
We talked about this 2 weeks ago.
So the station is going to continue to like broadcast on iHeartRadio, but it will be removed sometime in March. So that's it for Radio Disney. Like it's
yes,
done.
it is done. We questioned it 2 weeks ago whether 100%.
Yep, 100%. Because because the iHeartRadio thing, I thought they were still kind of doing it, but apparently no. That was in March of 2021 that they kind of stopped doing that.
No more Crazy Frog.
Yeah. And then lastly, for This Week in Disney, January 23rd, 1928. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit cartoon Neck and Neck is released. Yeah, so Oswald takes Mrs. Rabbit out for a ride on his jalopy, but finds himself in a race chasing a police car. Yeah, so this is just a one that I really wanted to throw out there for you guys who like looking at animation styles and stuff because of 1928, and we watched some of the Alice comedies, and then this is Oswald.
Very hand-drawn.
We love Oswald, very hand-drawn, but I think it's interesting what they do with like to make motion happen. I think they were really smart, and it's very well done. Like, it's very fluid. I don't know. Go watch it and tell me what you think. Even though it's quite older, black and white and everything, I think they did a really good job with this one. Yeah, for sure. But that's it for This Week in Disney. Of course, go celebrate Betty White and all that she's given to the film industry, television, game shows, being the mayor of Hollywood, all the things she's done. She's incredible and beautiful. And we're gonna have to
Centennial of entertainment.
We'll always remember her for sure. And that's it. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.